I'm Joe Cunningham, Congressman for the 1st Congressional District. For those of you who may not know me, I'm traveling here with Kaylin in our office, as well as Jamie. Where's Jamie? Jamie's back there, taking pictures. And I want to say what an honor it is to be here. I want to thank you all. Let's start going again here. We got a long way to go. I still got another 50 minutes of my speech. I'm going to make this quick. Listen, I want to thank the Poor Old Sound Foundation for opening up the doors and hosting this event. Where's Jody? Right there. Thank you so much for all y'all do. Y'all do an incredible job, and I always love coming back here. And we just did a quick tour and kind of look at all the different facets of this facility and how it all ties back to the next generation, and the future. And because at the end of the day, that's what we're all fighting for. We all live down here and love where we live because of this outside. And the secret's out. More and more people are finding out about it. More and more people are moving here to enjoy it. But it is incumbent upon us to do everything we can so that these resources are passed down to the next generation and the next generation after that. One of my favorite quotes is that old proverb is that we should treat our natural resources not as if we inherited them from our parents, but as if they're on loan to us from our children. And make sure that we give that back to our children when we pass from this earth in as good a shape, if not better. We want to talk a little bit today about what's going on in federal government that can protect our natural resources. There's some troubling things happening with this administration rolling back of certain provisions of the Clean Water Act. That's going to have disastrous consequences. It's important that we all know about that, how it's going to impact areas like South Carolina, and what we can do to help strengthen our regulations and our laws so that bad actors are held accountable, and also our waterways are protected, and our culture and our way of life. The removal of certain bodies of water by this administration, the changes to the Clean Water Act, will affect about 70% of the wetland acreage here in South Carolina alone. So it's going to have a profound impact. And we could go on and talk about the need to protect our resources and why it's important to our culture, the Gullah Geechee culture, and who we are as people, and recognizing that we need clean water, and we need to do what we can do to make sure that our ecosystem thrives. I took a tour of a group up in Charleston, the Barrier Island Oyster Company, which do the floating cages, and they are big in their culture, and just learning more and more about. We all know how good oysters taste, but how good they are for the environment is even better. The fact that one single oyster can filter about 50 gallons of water in a single day is phenomenal, and it's a beautiful part of nature, and it's important that we preserve that and keep those things clean and healthy. So this is intended to be more of a discussion and dialogue. We can talk about some of the work we're doing on the Natural Resources Committee, and we can talk about some of the local work being done and all the exciting projects happening here on the ground. But before we get into that discussion, I want to just recognize a colleague of mine, a good friend of mine, Queen Quet. Her and I go on tour when we start talking about environmental issues. So I always love having her around, but I want to turn the floor over to Queen Quet to address things from the Gullah Geechee Nation perspective.
Well, good afternoon. I want to tell them to do. Boy, that was trifling to sound. They want DC?
No.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let me try it again. Good afternoon. I want to tell them to do. I ain't a good time, man. They ain't a good time. We have to get them up a little bit better. Now, I hear some of y'all clap. Maybe if I made y'all do this year, you put the energy in the room. Then I know to switch like this because y'all newcomers don't know our language. All right? But yes, I'm so happy to be here with Joe. Like he said, we're colleagues. Right before he blew that big air gun that made him popular all over the world. Right? We were called a low country for a reason, all right? We are technically below sea level on our sea islands, and I'm a native here. I'm a native of St. Helena Island, and my family's roots also come from Palawan and Dato Island. So until the day you're there, thing like that, I know about casting and all that kind of thing, plus a son and then plus to make the battle board and thing for wine and children and the crew job. So we ain't want no thing, we're in, quite good for we. So my family for generations has made nets, bateau boats, went out casting, harvesting seafood up to this moment. I'm a founding member of the Gullah Geechee Fishing Association and a founder of the Gullah Geechee Sea Island Coalition. So we've never wanted to go in waterways and bring in something that could be harmful. And so I always let people know we the Binion and we ain't going to we call them. And part of the reason we know in this generation, in this current era, that we're not going anywhere is because we elected people that have the same vision, that care about the environment, that understand what I thought. Correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. I thought the human body is predominantly water. Oh, okay. Wasn't just me got that tweet. Okay, so the human body is predominantly water. And look at that screen back there. Look how beautiful our waterways are. Why would anybody want to roll back keeping them clean? That's us, and we're that. We might not always think about it. We might think you just go to the water because it's pretty cheap, but it's really a spiritual journey. It's where the Creator said, come back to what you're made of. And so maybe we need to roll some of this water up the hill next time. Maybe we need to not only blow an air gun and get their attention, but then make them sing some of them spirituals like, you know, we chilly Jordan, or thing like that, so they can't stand me. And he'll tell you when I was on the hill the first time we met together up there, fighting for our oceans, and I sang and we talked, and they heard Gullah, and they were like, wow, can we come down there with you? They wanted to come, so hopefully this year you can bring your team from DC to see what we're fighting for. Because, you know, when they look at it on paper, it's just numbers. It's just words. But when you feel it, it becomes a life experience. It becomes that thing that makes you know that the tide that's moving is the same as your heartbeat. And I think that's what they need. Because in DC, I ain't seen no water like this yet. Okay, so we might need to bring them here. Take them around, have an oyster roast, fry some fish, shoulder leaf wild. Y'all gonna have to do better with greeting them. All right, we gotta get a little southern hospitality in there. We gonna teach y'all northerners about that. All right, so that when folks speak to you, speak back, but they have to be speaking the same language for us to understand what's so important in the world. So I thank you so much, Representative Cunningham, for you battling for us, not going to DC and changing paths, but staying right there in the boat with us and sailing right on along. So we need to sail you on back up there because you ain't finished working yet. All right? Thank y'all for being here today.
Thank you, Queen Quet, for saying things much more eloquently than I can. That's good. She's spot on.
Oh, they ain't learned Gullah yet?
That's fine. You would think as much time as we've been together. No, hey, look, this is meant to be less formal, but just an open discussion of dialogue. I recognize there are a lot of stakeholders and groups and organizations here, so you know, if you want to speak about something that's passionate, something that's personal and passionate for yourself, or ask a question, hopefully we can get an answer within this room. If not, we have to go outside the room.
Joe, would you specifically tell us exactly what changes in the Clean Water Act the administration has proposed?
Well, from my understanding of what's being proposed is the classification of certain waterways. You know, during the Obama administration, whether or not they're navigable waterways, man-made waterways. Obviously, we recognize that we have man-made, man-altered waterways, whether it be they're dredged or they're altered. So long as they're connected to our rivers and estuaries, it's all one big body for practical purposes. Certain areas are more prone to different water flow, but under what this administration has done with the Clean Water Act, was basically remove protections for some of those man-made waterways. So again, a lot of these are still connected. They're all part of the same system. They're all part of that big blue heart that we have, which is our oceans. And so that in and of itself, like I said, would affect about 70% of the waterways here in South Carolina. And I think it affects clean water for about 2 million people in South Carolina. That's how big of an impact this actually is. And so if I don't know if you all, when you came in here, if you will sign up for our newsletter, we have a clipboard here, and we're happy to provide some more information as to some more specifics and what you all might be able to do to help hopefully try to thwart this. Because we're doing everything we can on the House side, using my seat on the Natural Resources Committee, but some of this will work, this legislation lies with the Senate as well. If we're going to make some of these regulations and bills into law, it's going to reside with the Senate. We just passed a bill out of the Natural Resources Committee, which instructs the Government Accountability Office to talk with local fisheries on how they're dealing with climate change and implement certain things that are actually working. To do a study to find out what exactly is working, what fisheries are doing to battle climate change. I know you all hear from fishermen all the time. We were up in by Shem Creek a couple months ago talking to local shrimpers who are saying that they used to go out and catch 500 pounds of shrimp in a day, and now they come back with 50 pounds. That's not sustainable. So this bill that passed out of committee would instruct GAO to study this issue and work with the local fisheries to implement whatever changes are necessary to combat climate change.
I have a question about recycling system. Are they planning on expanding the recycling system throughout the state?
I think probably does anybody on the local side want to address the recycling process? As far as
I recently had a meeting with Public Works last week, and they're revamping the whole system here. I mean, they've got a plan that they're looking at all of recycling, because we did an exhibit here at the Maritime Center, and it's very difficult, to understand how to recycle here in Beaufort County. And so making it simple,
Do you know how long that time frame is going to be?
I do not. I don't know the details, but I was happy to hear that
Right.
people are working hard on it.
Is there any way that we can be able to kind of increase the reviews on sustainability to be able to kind of eliminate single-use plastic?
Well, I think, a lot that's being done on the local level. I know in Charleston County area, there's been a lot of municipalities, and one of which on James Island, they have this group of young children, 10, 11, 12 years old, called the James Island Ocean Activists.
Yeah.
Nice, cute play on words. And so they led the charge with petition their local city council to ban single-use plastics and whether it be straws or plastic bags. And look, I think a lot of this change, we're doing what we can up in Washington, D.C., but unfortunately sometimes the wheels turn slowly. And at the same time, it's incumbent to local governments, whether it be city or state or municipalities. I tell people local elections matter, local government matters a lot, and you can get a lot of stuff done. It may not be making it on CNN or Fox or MSNBC, but that's where most of the difference is made. And the fact is that a lot of your neighbors, our neighbors, all share the same sentiment as to reducing our consumption, reducing our footprint, and I honestly think that we can have the most impact here locally. So.
And they did ban single-use plastic bags, but there were loopholes in that ordinance, so
Yeah.
now companies are utilizing more durable bags.
Mm-hmm.
And that is just sort of as a stamp.
Heavier
It says,
plastic.
yes,
Yeah.
125 usage, so that's why it's able to kind of pass through. Yes, which is a lot more.
That's all it is.
So being able to kind of see what we can do as a county to be able to kind of implement those ordinances.
Yeah.
So that way there's stricter policies.
Good point.
And the shark finning.
Yeah.
You did.
We passed a bill to, shark finning is obviously already legal here in the States, but there were loopholes, like you said, that allows for the importation of shark fins, and so what this bill that we passed did was make the importation illegal as well. So people aren't trying to get around. So yeah, it's a discussed in practice, and it's hard to imagine that in 2020 there's still certain parts of the world that engage in this practice. Sharks have been demonized for a very long time, and because of that, the population has dwindled. So I was proud to be a co-sponsor of that bill and help get that through the House, though.
Is there, well, I don't know if you can say off the top of your head, but is there other legislation in place that may help prevent some of the acts? Something like, environmental protection?
Yeah, well, a lot.
Endangered Species Act.
It's a great question. And unfortunately, a lot of this rollback obviously has been done at the regulatory level by the executive branch and by the administration. What we're working on is legislation to combat climate change, to recognize our part in this process. One of which we co-sponsored was the Clean Energy Act by 2050, is that right? And we talk about our carbon footprint and our impact on the environment. I think you have to look at it two ways. You have to look at what impact are we having, how much we're emitting into the atmosphere, whether it be through factories, through car emissions, or otherwise. And then we also have to look at what we're taking out of the atmosphere. And there's a lot of very cool things that are happening on the scientific edge where we're drawing CO2 emissions out of the atmosphere and injecting them into the ground beneath the surface or seafloor, whichever. But I think balancing those two, recognizing that, we talked about this a little bit earlier, this isn't a problem that we got into overnight. Unfortunately, it's been coming for a while, and we're not going to get out of it overnight either. I know that in today's day and age with Twitter and social media and instant news, we expect an answer like that or a response like that, but I think we all have to realize that we all got to do our part, whether it be recycling or otherwise, and we're going to have to realize that it's going to take a little bit of time to figure ourselves out of it. But regardless, we need to be moving forward, and we need to be, it's a leap forward or a step forward. And so on the House side, long answer to your short question, we're doing everything we can to get people to recognize that climate change is happening. We're playing a major part in it with our actions, and we need to start thinking with an eye towards the future generation and what kind of world we're going to leave behind for them.
Yeah, I guess you were saying we're going to follow this bowl, so my turn. I was going to add to what the Congressman is saying in terms of the small steps, because I've been to 2 of the COP events that are done with the United Nations. And I was also brought to the United Nations Oceans Conference in Korea last year by the UN. I do a lot of work with the UN. So one of the things that, again, when you mention, some things don't make it to CNN, because there might be other news, global news that clouds it. The Amazon was on fire, for instance, when we were over there at the last COP. So that toppled a lot of the news of what people were doing, such as the We Are Still In campaign that's going on across America. To say that in spite of an administration that says we're not going to participate in the Paris Agreement, that doesn't mean that we're not going to participate in the Paris Agreement as citizens. So once again, that's something that globally people have said, is that we're not going to listen to, no slight on him, but I'm saying we're not going to listen to elected officials who say we're not working for the environment, because this environment is all of ours. And so we are going to do it. And so we're the rising tide that has to remain up on high tide on this matter. And so I think it's important, everything from recycling, everything from pushing further, stronger legislation and getting people in there that are going to vote for strong legislation matters at every level. So where we start here and then just broaden out into the whole global circle. So I live here and I'm a native here, but it's wonderful to go to those international arenas and see the passion in the world and to find people that are in the U.S. that go, good, we are still in. And so there's a lot of work, a lot of templates and things of this kind of work that's all over the place that we can just copy. No need to reinvent the wheel and just collaborate.
First of all, thank you so much for making this possible. There are a number of us here, actually I think everybody at this table is here from an organization that you may have heard of, the Citizens Climate Lobby. Right. We met with their office in D.C. in June and had a wonderful reception from them, and really appreciate that. To answer the question over here though, We are supporting a bill that's currently in the House that you're familiar with. It's the Energy Innovation Act. And it would help with the water rule by putting a price on pollution that is generated by fossil fuels in particular. So it will make a significant step towards addressing the problem. It certainly doesn't cover the whole issue. That said, we also want to because we represent an organization that has over 560 chapters across the nation, we are interested now, we have 75 sponsors of that bill, but we're also really interested in supporting other bills, like the one like the fisheries bill, like your 1941, and because we have chapters across the country, one of the things we're working on is doing exactly that, supporting those secondary bills that are related to climate change but aren't directly impacting climate. And so if there are people in the Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee whom we can help persuade, we have chapters that can work on that. And we'd be happy to work with you on and with other of your allies to make that happen.
Yeah, please, we need, please all of it. Look, we need as much help on the Senate side as possible because the fact is, it seems like a lot of their time has been allocated solely approving federal judges, getting federal judges appointed, which is a shame because there's a lot of other issues pressing our country in our world too, to be frank. Yeah, I encourage you to keep reaching out to our senators, and I'll say this because I'm going to D.C. tomorrow for the State of the Union, and I think about last year's State of the Union, and one of the things that stood out to me during last year's State of the Union was the president getting up there and saying how we're now energy independent, and so I talked to my senators, our senators, Tim Scott, Lindsey Graham, say like, why would we expose our beaches and our waterways to a threat, imminent threat of offshore drilling, just so we can ship a few more million barrels of oil overseas, just so we can run up the scoreboard? It just doesn't make sense. So on this conservation side, I think these are some of the things that, because they're coming from the administration, our senators need to hear as well. So
I just want to add one little small thing to add to that. Tomorrow, actually, there are representatives of this organization nationally who are conservatives, who are meeting with the Republican congressman, because our goal is to have this be a bipartisan bill, and we do have one Republican sponsor in the House on the bill.
Francis Ray?
Yes.
Yeah.
We think in order for the bill to be durable, it needs bipartisan support. So we are working on that, which I hope will make it more palatable to everyone. And just want to make those folks in the room aware of that.
Yeah, get with our office and maybe we can find some more sponsors for it as well.
Yeah.
And I'll say this will remind my colleagues too, whether or not you're Democrat or Republican, when you go to the beach, when you go to the waterway, there's no different parking spots. And I like to take the opportunity to remind my colleagues across the aisle that the history that conservatives have in environmental protection. I mean, whether it be Richard Nixon or Ronald Reagan or Teddy Roosevelt. I mean, they have a strong history to be proud of, and I don't think you can say you're truly conservative if that ideology does not extend to our natural resources as well. It should not be limited to fiscal resources or otherwise, and you're going to call yourself a true conservative, be conservative about all things on God's earth.
Excuse me, this time
Yeah.
a question as a citizen. This is Black History Month. I'm sure you're well aware of that. I don't know if you know what the theme is this year.
Wasn't me now, aren't you?
I'm just checking, because you know the main officers in D.C., so they're going to get you in a solid. But African Americans and voting rights. So with all of what we're talking about here, has your team assembled any type of informational document, talking point document, specifically for this month to engage African American voters to know what your stance is, especially in regard to the environment. And you and I always work in regard to how cultural heritage is part of the environment, okay? They're inextricably tied together, as I always say. So have you put something together like that? If you have not, you know, I'll help you. But I think that it would be critical because, once again, as she's saying, to make sure that people are just aware. I mean, y'all have this litany of numbers of bills, but we wouldn't necessarily know that that bill applies to us in the Low Country. We wouldn't know that as African Americans it had anything to do with us as black folk or anything, but if you put it on a sheet and we knew and sent it out on Facebook, that we could share it, and then people go, oh, okay, this is important. We need to follow up, we need to call, we need to write letters, we need to show up to these.
I'm sure if we have not already, I'm sure the plan is too. You know, this is the third day of the month right now. I go back to DC tomorrow, but that's a great point. If we don't already have it, then we should have it. But I'll say that, you know, it should be pretty easily because that's what we've been focused on. You know, whether it be amendments to the Voting Rights Act or passing HR 1, which is a huge voting rights bill that sets up automatic voter registration, puts an end to gerrymander, and targets a lot of, you look at our voting rights system, and I'm bringing us back to the environment, but it's been historically targeted to disenfranchise African Americans. And I think we need to recognize that and look at what we can do to make a better impact. But bringing this going back to the environment though, and how Black History Month, obviously the Gullah culture here in South Carolina, we're not just fighting for protecting our waterways for Sunday afternoons. We're talking about a way of life. We're talking about generations teach each other to fish and how to protect waterways. I mean, that's something that runs deeper than just shucking oysters or seafood dinners or anything like that. You know, it goes to what's in your veins. So hopefully we incorporate that into the month as well.
So I've got a question regarding back to fossil fuels. So where are we with seismic area testing on?
That's a great question.
I actively work in this field with noise pollution. I don't know. The last time I heard, we had about eight companies, energy companies that were looking to have permits, and I don't know where we are in that process.
Well, we're not safe. I'm going to say that. I got a call from Secretary Bernhardt, head of the Department of Interior. His office is in charge of approving these permits for seismic gun blasting and opening up the leases. And he told me, I spoke to him in December, and he said, I want to give you a heads up. We've got a couple permits that will be on the verge of issuing here in the near future. He said they'd give me a heads up of when exactly they're coming out, but I would expect any day now. I would expect any time this month or next month that we hear that a couple companies have received permits to conduct seismic area gun blasting. As we all know, that's just a precursor for what's to follow. And so I tell people, like, this fight is not over. We got our bill passed to the House, but Senator Graham and Senator Scott refused to put any weight behind it. And I think that's something that needs to be considered. That's something that Pardon? So that's a question for them.